The recordings begin. We already hit the button, so take it away, huh?
What was that?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Oh, well, hello, everybody. How you doing? I'm Tim from Las Vegas.
I'm Sam from the Pacific Northwest. Welcome.
Welcome. And here we are with another episode of the Western Contingent.
Yep.
Coming to you, not live, but pre-recorded.
No. Episode 30. Oh, it seems like just yesterday we were doing episode 30. These episodes are flying by, dude.
That's true. That's true. That is true. So what has it's almost October. So what has the end of September been like for you so far?
Well, apparently our the name of our city has changed to Mordor. I saw two orcs chasing a couple halflings yesterday, and one of the halflings had a really shiny ring.
Is this like Halloween costumes or something you're talking about?
No, dude. We are in the middle of Smoke Central up here. I swear we live in the land of Mordor right now. We've got fires going on in the forests all around our area.
Oh, really?
Currently, a couple days ago, our AQI, air quality, whatever, was in the maroon, which is in the 300s. The lower the number, the better. Currently, it's at 130. An hour ago, it was at 80. And from our front window of our house, we could see fires coming over the ridge of one of the mountains. So it's,
wow.
I mean, it's still a good ways away from us. When visibility is good, we can see for miles and miles and miles. The air quality has been abysmal lately. And it's really kind of messing around with extracurricular activities. Like we have our son Dante, he's banned, and our homecoming game, well, his school's homecoming game was tonight. But because of the air quality, it's been moved to another town. And so now the homecoming performance that the band and the color guard were going to do together has been canceled. Probably going to be moved to another thing, but that's been happening a lot lately. Football games being moved and canceled and all that kind of stuff. It's just that time of year, unfortunately, when it gets really dry, and if you have a spike in temperature, one of the things, lower Sugarloaf fire that's going on right now, it has covered over 30,000 acres of land, and I think currently it's only like 30 to 35% contained. So it's been going for the last 3 weeks. Some friends of ours that run a youth camp up in the mountains, just north of us, called a place called Camas Meadows. They had to evacuate last night because the winds picked up, fire jumped to the street and started heading their direction. So, my buddy Daryl, he's up there cutting fire lines for right now. I think him and his boys and some of his staff are doing it together. I don't know for sure, but it's tough, man. It's tough. We had people leaving church last night. I wasn't there. I was at a football game for my son, but my wife was telling me that there were people getting up and leaving church left and right because their homes and their communities were in evacuation zones. So that's pretty much what's going on up here. Try to make light of it, but you really can't, because people's lives, possessions, they're at stake. So it's kind of a heavy thing, but it's definitely gross. It affects everybody in some way, shape, or form.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Fortunately, we don't have that problem down here in Las Vegas, but we do, like you were talking about the smoke and stuff. Whenever there's fires in California or Arizona, a few months ago, we can definitely
get the smoke.
The air quality and stuff affects us. Out here. So
it's really bad. In Korea, we had desert sand from the Gobi. We had sand that would come over. Yellow dust, that's what they called it, but it was basically from the Gobi Desert in China, and it would just basically coat everything a certain time of the year, and it would mess up soccer schedules. It would literally look like, why is all of the snow yellow? That's what it looked like. It was really gross. It wasn't that thick, of course. It was a thin layer, but it covered everything like snow does, but it was yellow. It's really disgusting. But So it's not my first rodeo as far as bad air quality is concerned, but it is kind of it makes life a little bit dysfunctional because it's affecting so many different things.
Of course, of course. Yeah,
How about
absolutely.
you? What's up down there in Vegas?
Well, just had the WSBG
Hmm.
last week, and
World Series of Board Games, people.
yes, the World Series of Board Gaming, and Dice Tower West. We bring a little bit more than half of our library there,
Hmm.
and we run the open play,
Hmm.
and that went very well. And we have like the 16 ring games out permanently. And then we also have a shelf of the 16 ring games people can check out because
Hmm.
they're all practicing, getting ready to play.
Yeah.
And it's just it's very unique in the sense that um you're if I don't play on BGA like at all.
Right.
And I'm thinking I might pull that trigger. I don't know. It's just board games for me are social things. I like
Yeah.
playing with people. So anyway,
Analog.
but these people play 200-300 times a year of the games, and it's just interesting playing with people who are like hardcore gamers, right? And it's what I mean by that. It's like I consider myself a hardcore gamer because I just love games. I play all the time. I'll play at any opportunity, but I'm not like a hardcore gamer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's like levels to that.
Yeah.
But when you play with people who've got that tournament mindset and maximize every move to try to squeeze every point, it's something that I think anybody who considers himself like a hardcore gamer like me, just loves games, likes playing games, whatever, you
Yeah.
should play with those people at least once a year because I get sort of, for lack of a better term, a reality check.
Yeah. No, no, I
um,
get it. Yeah.
but it's just really just so interesting to see how their mind works, how they approach the game.
Hmm.
Instead of it, just it's really good. And every time I play games, we'll talk about this later, with people who are entrants in competitions,
Yeah.
in some of the ring events or outer ring events, all that kind of stuff, I learn a lot because
Mhm.
of just how they play. So it's
Yep.
a very unique event. This was the fourth year. They'll be back again next year for their fifth year. And yeah, I think if people have a chance, it might be something you might be interested in checking out.
That's cool. I had not put the two together that the Dice Tower West Library was used
Yes. Uh-huh.
at WSBG. I thought that it was autonomous, basically, where they provide everything and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm sure that they probably provide you. You said you're only over the open play stuff.
Correct.
And
Yes.
so I guess they provide everything else, all of the games that are necessary for the 16 ring and
Yes.
all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, I've never been able to get there. Back before I left the Dice Tower, they were asking if I would come and be part of the Blood Rage tournament, and I really wanted it to be, but that was the year that my life kind of blew up. So I wasn't able to get there, and they've never extended the invitation after that. So it's spilt milk, missed the boat, whatever. But it would have been a cool thing to go try, and I still would like to go try it, but I'm not expecting them to bring me in in any way, shape, or form. It's just something I would like to go experience once.
Right.
Because kind of like you, I'm not a tournament player, and like you said, we'll talk about this later. That's going to be the thing that we talk about, but just that's just not my mindset.
Yeah.
That's just not my mindset. You were talking about games that you had played. So, what are a couple games that you were able to get played this past week?
Yeah, so Francis Drake, I guess I'll talk about because I talk about. But every time I showed that to probably, I don't know, in the past week, probably 4 or 5 new people, and they all love it. It's just
Sure.
it's just a good game. People should just give it a try. It's unique. The moves, we were just talking about it last night. The moves are snappy. They're quick.
Hmm.
The gameplay is fun. It's 2 phase. So yeah, it's just it's a great game. So
Francis Drake. That's cool.
Francis Drake.
Well, I am one of them people that that have to play all the new stuff all the time. Well, I don't actually, and we take a day. on the flip side where we talk about older games, and I do that on purpose for this exact reason. I want to kind of push back a little bit against that whole trap that you can get stuck in about always only ever playing new stuff.
Yeah, cult of the new. Yeah.
Yep. So, but one of them that I've played recently that I want to talk about is a new acquisition for me, but it's not a new game. It's a game called Trails from Keymaster Games. And Keymaster Games is the company that puts out Parks, which is in many ways, it's very, very similar to Trails. Now, Parks was the predecessor, and Trails is the one that came afterward that is kind of like a boiled down version of Parks. But it has the same designer, Henry Audubon, same publisher, of course, and it has the same kind of theme where you are going on hikes in all of these different national parks. In Parks, it's more about you're visiting these different national parks, and those are the cards that you're spending your resources on to collect, and it's kind of like a set collection type thing at that point. It's very similar in Trails, but you are collecting badges, kind of like if you were a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, you were able to go do certain things to earn a badge in that thing. Well, that's pretty much what you're doing in Trails. And then there's another kind of competition going that's kind of running in the background for bird watching or bird seeing, whatever you want to call it, whatever you're supposed to call it. I don't know. And whoever has whoever collected the cards that has the most bird symbols on it will get an extra 4 points at the end of the game. But it's an interesting, fun, faster version of Parks. That's kind of how I see it. It does not play anywhere near as long as Parks does. I would imagine it's about. You can get a game of Trails done if everybody knows what they're doing, probably in about 30 minutes. And Parks takes about, I don't know, I would say max 60 minutes. So it's close to being about half as long.
Okay.
That's not empirical, but it's pretty close, And I really do enjoy it. I picked it up because it has the same graphic design motif as the original Parks, and I'm not a fan of the new one. So that's one of the reasons I picked it up, is because it matched the graphic design motif of the original Parks, because they've also re-released this, I believe, with the new artwork as well. I could be wrong in that, but I could have swore I saw that it was. Anyway, I like it, and my wife likes it too. So that's the first game I'll talk about, Trails.
Yeah, Trails is I haven't had a chance to play that yet. I know it was in that same family as Parks, and we had talked about this several times before, where it's kind of smart, right? Like staying in your lane with these publishers. You have a successful game like Parks. Why not make its little brother, little sister? So people who already love the game will pick that up and they'll already jump right into it as well. So yeah. Absolutely. I guess the second game I'll just mention real briefly again, that it just seems like everybody enjoys when I show them that, or new players play it. And that is Foundations of Rome. And one of the things I think could be, because it's got two sort of nostalgia factors, right? It's got that Battleship-esque kind of thing. Like, people are used to the letters and number grid, right? And they're used to ships and all that kind of stuff like that. Sure. And also, if people have played Acquire in the past, it's almost kind of that same thing, a little bit ish. So I think those are two factors why it brings sort of that sentimental or emotional feeling a little bit, that deep back in somebody's brain of something they're familiar with. But just the building, and here's the thing, I have never played Foundations of Metropolis, so I don't even know what the feeling would be like of playing the tile version. I've only ever played the Foundations of Rome with the miniatures, and just that look, that feel, picking up these big chunky pieces, building out the city. And when you're playing with 5 people and that board is just packed with those buildings, it just looks so cool. And Yeah, and it's just it's a very sort of what I like to call intuitive game, right? Because
Mhm,
even first
mhm,
timers, after one or two moves, after you see other people play, so maybe one or two rounds, you're like, oh yeah, I get this. I see
mhm.
how this works. And so people can catch on to it really, really quick. And first timers can be just as competitive as seasoned veterans in that game because
Yeah.
it's just easy to pick up, easy to grok. So yeah, I highly recommend, and I probably just should just to see what the experience would be like is play Foundations of Metropolis, just to see if I'm just like, yeah, nah, this I'm not gonna do this.
No, I totally get that. I think this is one of the ways where you and I are very close to being kindred spirits because I love it when a game just looks good on a table and people walk by just to go, wow, that
Yes,
looks
yeah,
really cool.
yep,
And Foundations of Rome has always been one of those kinds of games.
for sure.
Um, at the end of the day, it's a grid coverage real estate game, generally speaking. Um, but there's so much else going on, and yet there's not too much else going on. It just hits that sweet spot to be very simple to teach, but it also holds people's interest. Generally speaking, I know JT has talked about how he's played it, he likes it, but he just doesn't feel like there's anything more there that would keep him coming back to it.
Okay,
I
here,
totally understand that.
yeah, but here's the thing I must add is I can definitely concur or agree with that assessment. However, I don't know if he's played everything, right?
No, no, he hasn't. He
Okay, so
hasn't.
right, so if and that's where I am now, right?
Mhm.
Because I just played, a few days ago with new people. Of course, we just actually because they're gamers, we added the steal and trade mechanism, and we added the what do you call them, monuments, all right?
Yeah.
But there was still other things. We didn't have the personal goals, the every goals, and the I forgot what they're called, the cards you put inside the deck where you can buy those two to give abilities. But when
Mhm.
you play with all the modules, that is the way to play. Like just the base game, just to me
Mhm.
doesn't suffice anymore.
Got it.
All of the
That's
modules, just it's
yeah,
so good.
and that's the thing. I haven't tried. I've tried the solo mode, the series. I can't remember the actual name of it. I've tried the solo mode module, but
Mhm,
I've not tried anything else yet. And that's part of my thing. And because I put Foundations of Rome on my top 10 games that I'm going to be playing in 10 years,
mhm.
that I'm still going to be playing in 10 years, because I think that there's so much there to first of all, it's real easy on the eyes. Second of all, it's real easy to teach new people how to play it. And third of all, it has all of those different modules that do a lot of different things. I just don't think I'm ever going to run out of stuff to experience in that game. And even when I do, I still think I'm going to have fun enjoying it,
Yeah,
even if there's nothing new to enjoy. So that's one of the reasons why I put it on my top 10 games that I'm still going to be playing in 10 years. And that's when JT and I had that truncated conversation about the fact that he likes it, but he just doesn't feel like there's anything else left to bring him back to it. But I totally get it. That's the exact argument that I gave him. What you just said. So,
mhm.
and he was, he's willing to try all that stuff. He just doesn't know that he's going to be playing it in 10 years. That's all.
Right. No, I get it. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, the second game I'm going to talk about is a game that I actually crowdfunded, and it showed up 2 days ago. And I've actually, no, I'm sorry, 3 days ago it showed up. And the last 2 days, not today, but yesterday and the day before, I did live streams for a solo game of it because I just really enjoy it that much. It's called the Great Commission Strategic Card Game. And it basically is a game where it takes place. Um, you are basically leading a church in the early church age, right after the day of Pentecost and all that kind of stuff, and you are trying to keep your church alive while it's being and the whole point is to outreach, is to gain more church members, but those new church members bring troubles with them, and those troubles are going to affect the different things that are in the different people that are in your church. And then there's events that are both good and bad. So an event could help your church. An event could really severely hurt and cripple your church. And basically, it's a 7-round game, and you are trying to get through the what's called the world deck, which is where all of the people that you're trying to reach, they're in that deck, and you're trying to basically get that to win that entire deck before the event deck runs out. And there's only 7 events. There's only 7 rounds. It can go from 1 to 4 players, and I'm usually not a huge card game fan. Just not. Now, admittedly, the theme is what reached out to me on this one, and what kind of snagged me on this one. But there's another snag. The artwork is, while it's not amazing, it's eye-catching. And another reason why it was eye-catching for me is because the artist who designed the game, along with a co-designer, he has a set of graphic novels that are basically the Bible, the different books of the Bible in comic book form, but he uses the words of the New International Version to be the actual words that are used in the comic book. Like, he didn't write any of the dialogue; it's just straight out of the Bible. But he just provides, comic book layout for all of it. And so it's a really, again, I'm an aesthetically minded person, so it makes reading things easier if it's in comic book form, in my opinion. Like, if you took a comic book story and just had the words, I probably wouldn't read it. But if you put that story, those words, onto a comic book graphic, I'm down. So anyway, I've played it twice. I've lost twice. I got really close the second time. I don't think it's too hard to win. I just think that you have to realize it's one of those games where you have to build engines, and you have to make sure that you're working those engines correctly in order to get the best effect out of them. So efficiency is key. And I've just really been enjoying it. So it's available. They just delivered all of the Kickstarter backers things, and they're going to go retail in November, I think. But it's called the Great Commission Strategic Card Game. It's really cool.
Okay. Oh yeah, I have never even heard of that one. So
yeah,
I'll have maybe because I'm not letting myself get in all that game stuff. So
yeah, I get you.
Trying to wean myself away from.
I get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it.
Just like what is it? The Godfather. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. I always get sucked in somehow, right? Like. I want to talk a little bit about some like tournament play, and I guess the mindset of tournament players, or playing a game with that mindset. And I'll give you just a little story that happened to me at WSBG. So I played a game of Castles of Burgundy with Bonds and Nader, and I don't know if you know her, and she did play in the Castles of Burgundy tournament, or the ring event or whatever, to try to win a ring, but she got knocked out. But anyway, I played a game with her, and right off the bat, it's funny because in the first couple moves, this other guy Damon we were playing with, I don't know if he played or not too, but all of a sudden they're like both in their 30s points or whatever, and I hadn't moved. And so what happened is always when I played Castles of Burgundy, that's one of my comfort games. I love Castles of Burgundy, play it all the time. Is I always just thought about, again, the gameplay, casual, long game, all this kind of stuff. But what they did, which was really, I look at it now, is they maximized the first round points because you get a higher bonus. And if you go for the single spaces, you fill those in and you get the points, so they were getting like 11 points filling in single spaces, all those single spaces. Mm-hmm. So they shot for those first, where I built one of my castles in a single space. And I'm like, afterwards, I was like, wow, I just took away 11 points from myself for doing that. I should have built my castle with the group and then moved down to capture 11 points. So just the way she approached it, like this way they approached the game, I was like, wow, I had never seen that before. But again, the mentality of those players is to maximize the reward every single turn. I mean, we're supposed to do that anyway, if you know what I mean. However, it's points, right? Because those are the ultimate decision maker for who wins the game. So just that thought, I was just like, wow, I learned so much from that one play. It was really cool.
Yeah, I get it. I totally it's just like what you just said, and I'm not trying to be contrarian. I really but what you just said is a is an opposite way of thinking to me sometimes. Because you said you're supposed to be maximizing your rewards in a game. And I know that's true beyond the shadow of a doubt. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be getting the most points. But looking at it that way, it's almost like you're working a spreadsheet rather than playing a game, or you're
Oh, absolutely.
working, and it's just that way of thinking is not completely foreign to me, but it's definitely not what I think I want to have fun doing as I'm playing a game. Does that make sense?
No, I'm the same exact way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
So, but another thing that you said also kind of rings very true, and that is playing games with people who are minded that way. You can learn a lot on how to play the game because I don't know. With me, I think sometimes whenever I'm teaching a game that I really, really know well to other people that don't know the game really well, I usually try to narrate my turns so that I can explain to them what I'm doing, not just what I'm doing, but why I'm doing them, so that they can see some of the ways that the game kind of branches out. And I totally get that. Like playing Jason in games, um, it's amazing what this guy can do sometimes.
Mhm.
And he's not the only one. JT is the same way because they both have this idea. And I've always told JT, I need to get you and Jason in a game together so I can just, have my mind explode. But yeah, I just don't see games the way that other people do. And being able to be in a tournament like that, you kind of have to have that as a foundational thing in your repertoire
Oh,
before
one
you can, I guess, expect to do well in a tournament. Because, like another thing that you said in the intro, there were people there practicing,
yep.
and I was like, ugh, I don't know that I like that because I play games just to play games to have fun, and I don't know that I would want to play games just to practice how
Right.
to play that game.
Yeah, but yeah, it's again, it's a whole different thing. Again, I wouldn't do that too because I don't look at games to like win or be hardcore and all that kind of stuff. I look for enjoyment.
Right.
But again, I just think for the experience of playing with those people, I played a game of SETI. Here's another example. I played a game of SETI.
Mhm,
SETI's not in the ring events
mhm,
this year. But I played with people who were there, who were tournament players. So they don't necessarily have to be um, familiar with or a tournament player in the game you're playing. But if they're
mhm,
a tournament player, that's a whole nother level above me as well, right? So I
yep.
played SETI with tournament players. I scored my best ever. I scored 189 points, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was the only one, there were four of us playing under 200. Got beat by like 60 points. It was like just annihilated. And
Yeah.
it's just like watching them. It was kind of fascinating. And to be honest, I feel my game went up a level playing with
Sure.
these people
Yeah.
because I was like, wow, I'm already looking like an idiot. So what can I do to not look more like an idiot? I got to really put my head down and concentrate. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just so it's like I said, I think gamers, if you consider yourself a gamer, hardcore gaming, it's something you should just experience to
Mhm,
play with
mhm,
people who probably play, and I'm not being hyperbolic, 500 or 600, 700 games a year on
mhm.
Board Game Geek, and they probably play 200 or 300 times of one game. Like if
Yeah.
they're like an Arc Nova player in the tournament,
Yep.
they probably play
Yep.
that one game 200, 300 times a year on
Yeah.
BGA. And so, like, you know what I mean? So they get a lot of reps in, and
Mhm.
it's really cool.
Absolutely. some friends of ours that live a couple hours north of us. They come down for our church group, church board game group, and our Steamers West board game group. And whenever they come down, we have them over in the morning, usually the morning after the Steamers West or the morning before the church group meetings. And we've been playing Ticket to Ride Legends of the West. Our last one, I was like, yeah, I did good. And this is my best. I wrote my score down. It was the best one I've had the entire game. I think I scored 117 points or something like that. I was like, yeah. Both of them scored over 200. I'm like, but it was just like, yeah, this is my best game ever. I'm feeling good. Oh, I scored 80 more points than you did.
They're not tournament players, are they? Are they tournament players?
No. They're just really good gamers. That's all. And another aspect to it is that Ticket to Ride Legends of the West, they've purchased like 5 copies of this, and they've played it to its entirety with 4 other groups of people. So they've played the entirety of Legends of the West completely 4 times. So think about that. I think there's 12 games for a complete Legends of the West. I think it's 12. It's 10 or 12, I think. I'm pretty sure it's 12. So they've played this game 48 plus the 10. They've played this game 58 times already. And so they've already seen 58 times over all of the things that this game offers them, compared to my wife and I's once.
Right.
So, or rather 10, because we've played through 10 years out of the 12, or we've got 2 left.
Yeah, repetitions make a huge difference. Like, you just said at the beginning of the show, you're like, didn't the last time we talked, you said you played SETI and Galactic Cruise? Yeah, okay. In the past month, I played Galactic Cruise 4 times. I played SETI 5 times or whatever.
Wow.
But that's like nothing to some of these people. They played that in 2 days. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now that Galactic Cruise is on BGA, somebody just told me last night, people are going to be playing that. And now I'm just going to be totally annihilated in that as well. It's, but again, tournaments is for some people, right? And it's not for others. And people seem to, I've always been curious, and I don't know how you could get statistics on this, but say there's 1,000 people, just to make the numbers simple, right? 1,000 people. What percentage are going who not even think they're going to win, but know they're going to win? You know what I mean? Like, they just
100%.
know they're so good. They're going in. They're like, oh yeah, I'm winning that ring because, I feel that confident about it. So
100%.
I wonder how many, you think 100% of them?
I mean, here's the thing. Why? Okay, I get that it would be fun to be a part of that experience, but if you're going in as a tournament player, you're going there to win. You're not going there just to have fun.
Yeah, but Sam, I didn't say going to win. I say knowing you're going to win. Those are 2 different things, right?
Sure.
Of course, when you enter a tournament, you're hoping to win. That's the whole goal. But there are people going in saying, like, I know I'm going to win. I know I'm that good. I'm that confident. I am going to win this tournament. That's what I mean. So
I get that. And I was being a little cheeky, but at the same time, for me, there's not a big difference between the 2. If I'm going into a tournament then I'm going to win, and I know I'm going to win. And if I don't win, something happened that I just wasn't expecting. But I know I'm going to win. I do think I wouldn't sign up for a tournament if I didn't have that mindset.
Oh, really? See, I don't know.
It's just an idea of I don't know. I don't want to blow it up to make it more than what it is, but it's just, if I'm first of all, I'm unless I'm just going to be like one of those things where hey, we're going to bring you in and this is going to be something that we want you to do. Okay, fine, I'll play your tournament. But if I'm spending money for a plane ticket, for a hotel room, I'm going there to win. And you're going to have to bring your A game to beat my A game. And that's the long and the short of it. And whether you make a difference between being so confident that you know you're going to win, or being so confident that you have a pretty good chance of winning, whatever that is, both of those are, generally speaking, and I was joking about the 100%. I don't think it's 100%. I would imagine it's closer to about 10. It's probably on the lower end of the spectrum of percentages, because I don't know too many people that are, if I can use this word, that cocky about their gameplay. Now, you may have put in the time. You've put in thousands of games on BGA. You've played hundreds of times face to face, and that produces a level of confidence. Totally get that. But there's a little bit of there's a sprinkling, a dusting of cockiness in there if you go into something knowing that nobody can beat you. And I don't really like that.
Yeah, but I mean, whether you like it or not, I'm just wondering
Sure.
about how many people there are. Because again, for example, when it comes to games, I'll just give you a funny story. At this thing, I met a guy. Man, I forgot his name. Dustin, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I forgot. And he said he runs cribbage. And I was like, whoa, cribbage. I said, we need to play, right? Because and this is what I mean. It's not a matter of being cocky. It's just, I guess you could call it cocky. I don't know. But I'm confident. I will play money cribbage anytime with anybody, because I'm that confident, and I'm like, I know I'm going to win. He annihilated me. I lost over $100. Right? But the thing about it is here's the thing, is I'm not mad or upset. Well, I guess I'm upset that I lost, right? Nobody likes to lose when I know I'm going to win. You know what I mean? I know I'm that good.
Yeah.
But I'm upset that I lost, but I'm not mad, because again, I'm using this loosely, but it's like, no, I played perfectly. I did everything correct. I did everything I was supposed to do. I played the cards correctly. But in cribbage, if people know it, if you get the right cards and you get the right cut, sometimes it's just unavoidable, right? It's the same thing with sort of backgammon. You could be the best in the world, and you make all the right moves, all the right plays with the dice you roll. But if the other person just gets the right rolls, the right doubles, right dice, they could end up beating you. And that's what I mean. So, and that's what I'm talking about is, there are people who would play cribbage or other games where it's like, man, I'm really good, but no, I'm not going to play money. I'm not that good. I mean, I'm not that confident. Like, how confident are you that you just know you don't make mistakes, that you're going to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's a certain kind of personality that just comes along with it. I know I was watching for some reason, I don't know what I did, but for some reason, the algorithm on YouTube, I watched one poker video, and I think the next day, everybody and their mother released a poker video. And I for a couple of days, I was just watching all these poker videos, and I watched one hand of, it was like a championship battle, was just two dudes, and both of them were equally confident. Let's use that nicer word. They were both equally confident, and they were both very sure that they were going to win. One guy was super like cracking jokes and laughing, but to the point of being, he was doing it to annoy the other guy, because the other guy was definitely getting annoyed by all the jokes. And so he was just kind of feeding on that. The other guy was just very serious, very confident. He knew he was going to win, and he just kept talking, and ended up that the guy that was, it was almost like it was a mental game at that point. Anyway, the reason I say that is because I think it's more of a personality thing as far as cockiness is concerned. I don't think that if you're good at games and you're confident at games, that you're automatically cocky. That's not what I was saying at all. I think it's more of a personality thing when that arrogance and that cockiness comes out. For example, we were playing Rumicube. Totally lower end of the spectrum as far as complexity is concerned. We were playing Rumicube the other day, and I was going to step out of a 4-player game and teach another game that was at this game night at our local shop. And so a friend of ours sat down, and the first thing he said was, "Okay, I've played Rummikub since I was a kid. I've played it with my mom. We played it all the time. I'm really good at this game. So I'm sorry, but I'm really good at this game." And and he wasn't even being like cocky. He was just exuding confidence. Absolutely. He never was able to put together a set to play out his first set. He never got there. He had, I don't know, like, and again, I don't play Roman Cube that much, but his entire thing was filled with tiles, and he could not put any of them out. And it was, and since then it's been a running joke with our group. If he walks into the door, we'll pipe him and say, "Hey, don't play Roman Cube with that guy," that kind of thing. But it's just, you can have confidence. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but there also has to be some humility there. And I think people who are good losers in tournaments are those people that stand out to me, because that speaks more to, I think, the kind of person you are. If you can lose gracefully, to me, that says more than if you're winning gracefully.
Oh, for
But
sure, for
yeah,
sure. But like I guess talking about the tournament play and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff. Like let's take, I don't know, pick a let's Arc Nova or Splendor or whatever game you want to pick. Right.
yeah.
Let's just say Splendor. Maybe there's probably more people who are familiar with the game Splendor than Arc
Mhm.
Nova. So what I'm talking about there are people who literally know like every single card. So when you
Yep.
have the 3 decks, whether they're blue, green, and yellow, whatever deck is level 1, and
Right.
the cards are pulled out and you see what
Mhm.
people have, in
Mhm.
your mind, you're like, oh, okay, there's 6 blue left, 6 black, 4 red. Like, that's what I'm talking about. There's like, instead of somebody saying, oh, I'm good at Splendor, this and that. Okay, well, do you know exactly how many? There's 2 cards left in that deck. Do you know what they are? That
Yeah.
player who does know, he's the one or she's the one going in knowing they're going to win because they just
Correct.
know the game that
Yep.
well. That's what
They
I'm
can.
talking
Yep.
about. There's a difference between thinking, feeling you're going to win, you're that good,
Yeah.
whereas because you just know the game so well.
Right. Yep. And usually when you see the game that well, when you know the game that well, you also know when you're about to lose
Oh, absolutely.
before everybody else knows. And I've been in that situation before. And I've like, for me, Blood Rage is the game that I probably know the best that's in my collection. And there are points where I will see what other people have, and I'm like, oh, well, there goes. I'm not winning because I can see what they have.
Uh-huh.
And it's even been to the point where I've witnessed them, and maybe I shouldn't do this, but I think the reason I'm doing it is because I'm trying to help them see what they have, and I'll see them underutilizing this really powerful combo that they have played into their clan, and I'll say, hey, look, they'll say, I don't know what to do, and I'll go, well, you've got something right there that's going to score you a truckload of points. So this is this is maybe what you should do. This is maybe what you should go for. And so, but more often than not, I think I don't win Blood Rage more often than not. I usually come, the best I can usually do is second place, um, unless I'm just teaching 3 brand new people, and sometimes it's just hard to hold back because at that point you're not really, they don't know what cards to draft, they don't know what cards to keep away from you, that kind of stuff. But it's just one of those things where that's just not my mindset. I always want to go, but you've got that really, really, and in a tournament setting, I would be going, I'm
Right.
not going to give them any hope whatsoever,
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. I guess I'll playing in a tournament is just because I've played in a Ticket to Ride tournament before, and I just did not have fun. Because I wasn't playing just for fun. I was playing to try to win, and for me, I get winning is fun for people, and winning is fun.
Right.
It's just not the only fun I can have. You know what I mean? So I get why people are drawn to it. It's the thrill. It's the it's the promise of a huge reward, prominence maybe. But for me, I would usually tend to just have fun.
Yeah,
And if I win, great. If I don't, I'm still having fun.
right.
So,
Because it's a
but
matter of
it is a completely different mindset.
yeah, it is. But it's a matter of like where you want to get to the knowledge of the game, right? Because I
Yeah.
don't know if I ever wanted to get like when I played Gaia Project last year in a ring, no, what do you call it? An outer ring event. I was like, yeah, let
Mhm.
me go ahead and give this a try. And one of the people at our table had played in the tournament, and he even said, like when we first down, he's like, oh wow. He goes, I think the last time I played live was at WSBG the previous year, but in between then he had played like 200 times on BGA. And when we were just drafting the factions, it took him like 10 minutes. And I even said, hey, man, I really hope your turns aren't going to take this long. And he's like, oh, he goes, I just need to, figure. I did say that, right? Because it was
Get him, Tim! Get him!
But let me tell you something. And what I realized after the game started is he was figuring out the whole game. Like he was figuring out how this faction interacts with the other. Where was the map laid out? What is my best course for this? Phase 1, phase 2, because there's like 6 phases, I think there are, where you get rewards. And he's like, how can I map? And so he had the whole game planned out. He literally, I think it's a 100-point track, lapped us all. That's how, and that's what I mean. Like some of these people are just on another level.
Yeah.
So, and again, with that, it was great getting my butt kicked in that game.
You learn. You learn a lot of stuff.
I did learn a lot of stuff.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to get to that place. I'd rather be the one that gets his butt kicked and I get to learn more. I don't ever want to be the person that, I'm not trying to be argumentative here or pigeonhole people. That's not what but I don't want to be that person that has the game figured out,
right?
Where there's nothing more to explore. There's nothing more that's going to surprise me. Nothing's going to be surprised anymore. Yes, I saw that coming. I was planning on doing this. Yep, you're going to do that right now. Whoa, no, that's not fun for me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And again, whatever your choice is, right? Because I'm with you, Sam, right? I don't ever want to get to that point where I know every card, I can expect everything, blah, blah, blah. No, I just like enjoying. But some people, that is their enjoyment, right? Reaching that point where like everything about the game that's so fulfilling and exciting to them. So whatever makes you feel good.
It's like Neo in the Matrix. You can see the Matrix happening. So
yes, exactly. So but again, tournament play it is a whole nother different sort of genre. And the good thing that I think about tournament play or a thing like the WSBG is that's another avenue that the world of board gaming offers for people, right? Because again, like Dice Tower West, Dice Tower East, whatever, these conventions, those are casual game plays, play only. You can go to tournaments where it's just Magic, just Warhammer, just this, just that, or just tournaments, kind of like WSBG. So there's something for everybody in our wonderful hobby. So it's really, really good. Totally so again, in the comments, let us know your thoughts on tournament play. Let us know your thoughts on where you like to get to, like, or what makes you happy. Do you want to be one of those people who knows everything in a game, in and out, or you just like casual play or whatever? Yeah, but just let us know your thoughts.
Yep, please do. Thank you for being here, people. We appreciate you.
We sure do, each and every time. Well, anyway, folks, until the next time, I am Tim from Las Vegas.
I'm Sam from the Pacific Northwest. See you on the flip side.
Thanks again for joining us, folks. Bye, everybody.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.